puzzle time? That actually makes
You
sense.
want to do puzzle
Yeah,
time?
can we do puzzle time?
If I can teach you all this, usually
Hey,
puzzle
Pi.
time covers the whole lesson. I don't think I can teach you the whole lesson.
Definitely.
Well, just.
Alright, so you will sometimes see it like this, okay? F plus
you.
G, and the way, let's write down, the way you pronounce this, or pronounce it, say it, whatever. This means F plus G of X. That's how you say that. All that this means is you take F of X plus G of X, okay?
Are we getting into the waves soon?
Okay,
Are
What?
Are we getting into like sine waves soon?
the what?
Are we getting into like sine
What?
waves?
Sine wave? No. I wish we would do, some Algebra 2 curriculum does like a little bit of trig, and I love trig, but
This
no.
just seems like interference. Like, legitimately.
I don't think so.
Because you're adding two functions together. If you're adding two waves together, they're interfering. That's the same
I
thing.
mean, well, yeah, you could definitely have those kind of functions. We're just doing it with the functions we know how to use.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, you could, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so if we have, let's do an addition example. So if I had f of x equals 5x and g of x equals x plus 2. Okay, we have two different functions, and I want to find f plus g of x. I'm going to write this out. I'm going to write out all
So
the
it would
steps.
be
You don't
5.
always have to write this. So you would have f plus g of x equals f of x plus g of x, which is, so this whole thing is f of x, 5x plus, now if you had a subtraction sign here, you'd have to put this whole thing in parentheses, but, oh, I can still put it. That's g of x, right?
So 6x plus 2.
Yes.
Okay.
Which just equals, because a plus sign doesn't change anything about this, right? So it's, you just combine your like terms, 6x plus 2.
Of course.
So, see, this is so easy.
We're done, right?
Huh?
We're done, right?
Yeah, done. Plus
Doesn't
time.
make any sense whatsoever.
Sweet.
This doesn't?
No.
Just adding this one plus this one?
I don't understand how you got any of
Okay, let's do another one. Let's do. Oh, I just gave you this. This was the given.
It's basically just
I didn't
like
cut-
I
constant.
don't know how you did that though.
This?
Yeah.
So you just take whatever the f of x is and add it to this. Just like how we used to do adding polynomials.
You just have the terms together. So they give you this term and the formula says
Yeah.
combine the terms.
Okay.
So I combined the like ones. These two x's. Let me do another adding
You wouldn't
one.
get to learn this amazing
Yeah,
concept
this
in
is
math.
awesome, fun math times.
Yeah.
This 5gx plus
Only
fx
time
equals
that math
dx.
I was.
I feel like we're turning to ABC people now.
ABC,
Go back to learning triangles.
abcmouth.com.
It's so easy.
Easy mouth.
Yeah,
Mouth?
mouth.
Yes.
I cannot have barbecue picnic because there's a mouse in my group.
What?
They're going around to look at the couch, but it's in the
Jack,
shower.
shut up.
Wow. Hey, that's terrible.
Jack by traces.
What?
Jack by traces.
Since when?
Since
Okay.
Jack, if you really said if you could be racist against one race, you would pick gingers.
Yeah.
You said that here in this class. Are you
Dalton and
serious?
I, we have some fun times.
I'd have to go back to my natural.
I wouldn't say that's a ginger, that's more of a rap.
Okay, let's see.
It's
It's like every ginger gets to live or die based on Jack's choosing.
Look at it.
Oh, sorry, Haley.
No.
Wait, which
No,
would
you're an
pick?
exception.
Yeah, would you pick?
Dalton, on the other hand.
Would you
Hey,
pick
you.
live or die?
Oh my God.
You noticed it's kindergarten. It's a kid easy answer.
But she's a ginger.
Oh my God.
I'm joking, guys. Okay, hang on. Real quick,
Hitler with
quickly. I am
gingers.
joking
Gingers.
completely. I do not mean any of this.
That's
Yeah, I'm gonna
make
get
it.
canceled
He's
if I
gonna
do
make a
that.
freaking concentration camp for gingers.
Huh?
No way.
Jason,
At the rate
that-
that you're, at the rate that you're,
Stop,
at the rate that
stop,
you're going.
stop,
Luke.
stop.
Haley, I would let you live. I promise.
It says, I promise.
He says, I promise.
You give it like a card or something. Like this one's okay.
Yeah.
Like what are you gonna do?
This ginger passes.
What? birthday.
Special ginger.
It needs a bit and then shake it through. And it's really good.
Shut up.
Words.
He just keeps going.
Oh gosh, that took me too long to write. Okay. Alright, we're gonna let f of x equal this, and g of x equal negative 10 square root x, okay? Oh wait, I'm so sorry. I didn't say I forgot. Before all of this, it should say find, I didn't even write the whole, f plus g of x. Alright, so, then state the domain, then evaluate the sum when x equals 4. Okay, lots of little things. 3 different things we're asked to do. So we're gonna find f plus g of x. All that means is add these two functions together. So, f plus g of x, and you don't have to write the middle step if you don't want, but I'm just gonna show you that it means this is the same thing as f of x plus g of x. This is just all notation. This doesn't mean like f times g or anything like that, okay? This is just the notation, okay? Even if you just wanted to write this part. So we're gonna take f of x, which is this, plus negative 10 square root x.
So, stick the name.
How'd y'all's track meet go?
Very good.
Really well.
Good? Track team is like coming up, like
Yeah.
y'all are doing.
Except we placed, the guys placed 10th and girls placed,
We were-
6th.
Yeah, I mean, but there were a lot of very good.
Yeah, very good teams.
Yeah. Is that one of the tournaments where like you compete against all different levels?
Like
Yeah.
5, 6, 7.
Yeah, that's
8,
how ours
Yeah.
are for speech
Yeah.
too.
FBA had.
And then when you get to your TAPS contest, it's like, oh, they're all on the same.
It's like FBA 1B.
They're literally a powerhouse. Yeah, but they're in our district.
They import people.
Yes, they do.
There was a kid named Kebuchi.
Yeah, Kambuki.
Like, that was his name. I was like, bro,
He is
Jake.
ripped. Like
I was
his
like,
upper body's very ripped, but his legs are very.
He was throwing, and the discus, like, announcer guy, he goes like, just remember, guys, don't skip leg day. And said it to that guy, and I was like, no way he just said that. It was the funniest thing. of all
That's
time.
terrible.
He has no way.
Okay,
He can dunk though.
this one plus this one, so this is just, these are the same, these are like terms. Remember we were adding square root terms
Negative
before?
7 square root of X.
Yeah, yes, David, negative 7 square root of x. So we just combine those, because now if these were different, if this was like an x squared and this was like an x, we can't combine unlike terms, you just write them as they are. Alright, so we did that. We found f plus g of x. Now we're gonna find, we gotta state the domain. Okay, so what kind of function is this?
Yep.
A square root?
A square root function, and what do they look like?
That.
Oh,
A
the
s- square-
Banana wrapper.
Yes,
Oh, it's
so this
wrapped.
looks like this.
Banana wrap.
So remember, this kind, the domain is not all real numbers for this one, because there's a stopping point right here. It doesn't go on forever. So, the way you find, well, you could graph it, and you could look, I'm fine with that. If you wanna graph it and look at it, Cade, you can do that.
Yes.
So you can see where this starts, and do that, or you can find it algebraically. So the restriction for your domain is found under here, okay? What cannot be under a square root and have a real solution?
Negative.
Negative. So that means that whatever is under here, it's just x right now. So x has to be greater than or equal to 0. If this is like what we've been doing. So if this was x plus 1, then x plus 1 would have to be greater than or equal to 0, okay? There's nothing left to solve. This is all done. So this is our domain. You can just say the domain is x is greater than or equal to 0, or you could write it is from 0 to infinity. You could write it in your,
Isn't this what we just went over?
huh?
Isn't this what we just went over?
It's similar.
Similar.
I mean, it's all been building up to this, right? It's all coming together. So that's the domain. It goes from 0, this would start at 0 and then go on to infinity. Okay, the last thing then, it says evaluate the sum, so that means this, the f plus g of x, when x equals 4.
Alright.
So you just fill that in. Again, I'm gonna write it
14.
in function notation.
Negative
F plus
negative 14,
g
I think.
of
I don't know.
4, okay? That means we plug in 4 for x. Okay. Negative 7 times the square root of 4 equals negative 7 times 2, which equals
Boom. I did quick maths. Look, Reverend, I actually did math.
Good,
He
you did
showed
it.
his
I
work.
did
You
it.
did it.
You know that saying, April showers bring May
Why,
flowers?
you know, that's not gonna be quite as like useful if it's like curved.
Look, does anyone use it?
Hey,
It's not straight in there.
Reverend.
But the saying,
Don't
April
shame
showers
him.
bring May flowers, all of next week is just
Jake,
raining.
Try it.
You're all good.
Wow.
Fun
So
fact.
good.
I don't want
Just the rest.
You
I'm
did.
just from Chelsea, I could make fun facts.
You're chugging coffee.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah, that's fair.
let's see. Stop!
There's a mosquito in here.
Do you guys wanna try one?
No.
Sure.
No.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, you do.
I did that one.
Okay.
I didn't read check yet.
1 through 3.
Okay, well, I'm staying for that, so.
Chapters 1 through 3 of.
And also, she was like, that's weird when you want to get out.
So, since these have the exact same exponent, they are considered like terms, okay? And then we're gonna find f plus g of x, so you're gonna add them together, and state the domain.
Oh, let me do this.
Um,
I don't know. This lesson's gonna make you do actual math before I graph. Darn.
Is that the same thing as saying x equals y?
Uh-huh, yeah. So whenever you have like an f of x and then it says find f of a number, that's just plug in that number for x.
What was the square root, like the number you put in the square root, it's the
The bottom one?
bottom one? Okay, so
Yeah.
it's a
The
cube
third
root.
root, yeah.
What is that graph?
So, what would a cube
Is
root
it a
plus
weird
a
looking
cube
one?
root equal?
It is a very weird looking one.
Huh?
What would a cube root plus a cube root equal? Would it be 2x cubed?
Oh, and my window's messed up,
Well-
so.
When you add this together, you just keep the exponent the same and add the terms.
Oh, okay. Would the 2x, would the 2 be part of the square?
Huh?
The 2x? That'd be part of the square, would it be parentheses?
No, just the x.
Just the x.
Yeah.
If there's a fraction, would you add the fraction and then combine the like numbers?
I like this.
Oh, no, that would only be if you were multiplying these, would you add the exponents? If you're adding and subtracting, you just keep the exponent the same. Ooh, that is a weird looking graph.
It just like doink doink doink. It's just like something bouncing. It just hits the origin for 1 second and just bounces straight back up.
Yeah.
What is cube root? That's not a thing? Is it a number?
Okay, what y'all get for f plus g of x?
5x
5x, so surely that was
to
easy,
the power
right?
of 2 over 3.
So we just add those and we get 5x to the 2/3.
Whoa.
That's what I'm doing.
I could do that much, and then I throw it in a calculator.
And then state the domain. So if you wanted to graph it, I mean, technically it's a cubed root. It's a weird cubed root because it's also squared. But so a cubed root should go on forever. This one's, because of that, it looks like that one's really weird looking. But if you also wanted to write this out, you could write it 5 third root x squared, right? And anytime you have a third root, it can be negative or positive, so you know that there's no restriction to that, okay? You don't have to write this, but just knowing that there's no restriction to the domain. You could also, like I said, graph it to look at it. It's gonna go to the left for forever and to the right for forever, so the domain is just all real numbers.
Oh, sweet. Okay, now that makes sense.
there's no stopping point for that one. And then,
There's no football.
evaluate f plus g of 8.
Okay.
So 5 times the third root of 8 squared.
Holy grail.
So the third root of 8
2.
9 times 2 squared. And remember, we do exponents, don't multiply that first. And then 5 times 4 is 20. Did y'all get 20?
Yes.
You got that, David?
No, I just waited for you to do it.
Okay, we're done.